there's not much left, and I can tell you, with the exception of Iran and one or two other countries, we do have relations with everyone else, with the few dozen that are left. So Israel's technological prowess and its security prowess has given us diplomatic prowess. But it's given us something else. It's given us peace. Power has given us peace. Because as long as we were considered something that is ephemeral, that could be driven into the Mediterranean, there was no peace. But after a succession of tragic wars, some of our neighbors gradually began to understand that we are here to stay. And once they understood that Israel is a permanent fixture of the Middle East, we could make peace. We made peace with Egypt. We made peace with Jordan. And I can tell you that I'm optimistic about the future of peace, because I see the appreciation of Israel today in many Arab countries. Many Arab countries were taking not only a realistic, but a realistic and positive view of Israel. We run polls on the internet, in the foreign ministry. You may not know this, but I am the foreign minister. And I periodically meet with our Director General, whom you know, Yuval Lotan. And he conducts polls in the Arab world on the internet. And when you ask the Arab countries, do you think it's worthwhile for your country to have relations with Israel, the numbers are staggering. And they're very different from what they were a decade ago, or even 5 years ago. It's changed. Now, admittedly, a lot of that has changed because we face a common enemy, which is Iran. But a lot of it is also changing because people want a better life. They want water, they want agriculture, they want energy, clean energy. They want medicine and health. Israel. Power, technology, and innovation are the key to peace. It will take time because our immediate neighbors have not yet understood that Israel is here to stay, and they still cling to the fantasy that somehow we'll be driven into the sea. But that's not true of all of them. And right now I would say it's not even true of most of them in the Middle East. It's a great change. It portends hope. I have hope, and I intend to pursue peace. It is something that I want to do with you. There are two things that you can do to help Israel celebrate this great Independence Day. The first thing is speak out against Iran. Iran is the enemy of us all, of Israel, the Arab world, civilization. It openly speaks today, 2018, the 21st century, it openly speaks about liquidating Israel, openly. It encircles the whole Middle East, which it wants to conquer. It fires rockets into Riyadh in Saudi Arabia. It is occupying Lebanon effectively. It's trying to inflame Gaza again. It is in Iraq, and it is trying to establish a military base in Syria, which all peace-loving nations should resist. Speak out against Iraq. If history has taught us anything, it is that a murderous tyranny must be opposed in the beginning. Stop bad things in the beginning. Iran's land empire should not take place, not only because of us, but because of our Arab neighbors and because of the cause of peace. The second thing you can do to advance peace is to move your embassy here. We are delighted with President Trump's decision to move the embassy here. It says a simple thing. Peace must be based on truth. There are many things that we have to work out in a peace agreement with the Palestinians. But it's clear under any possible arrangement that this is the president's house in Jerusalem. Not very far from here is the prime minister's house and its office in Jerusalem and the seat of our government in Jerusalem. And it's going to be that way. Recognizing reality is the way you build peace. You cannot build peace on a foundation of lies because it crashes on the rocks of reality. It's important to establish those principles that will ultimately guide peace. That Israel has a capital, that the Jewish people have had a capital for 3,000 years, and that it is called Jerusalem is uncontestable. It's time to recognize that fact. We are now talking. Thank you. I'm delighted to say that there are at least half a dozen countries that are now seriously discussing with us moving their embassy to Jerusalem. And thank you, Guatemala, for doing that. There will be others to follow. So please, there's a simple principle. You're familiar with it. First come, first served. I've decided that the first 10 embassies to come here will get preferential treatment. We'll help you. All of you should do that. And I want to say how delighted we are here to see you at the President's house in our capital, Jerusalem, on this day. But we want to see you every day. So this year in Jerusalem, thank you for coming here. Thank you for celebrating our independence and our rebirth here in the Jewish state. Thank you all.